Hello everyone. I was going to go over my VODs from maxout to take a look at things I did well, things I didn't do well, and I figured I might as well record it because I thought some of you might find this valuable as well. I ended up placing far better than I had any reasonable expectation of placing, so um, one good thing about that is it meant there were a lot of my games that were on stream, so a lot of things that I can look over. But I figure this way you can, some of the other people in here who I haven't played, I've played a lot of you, but some of you could get a better understanding of how I see the game, how I play, and the way when I say something, you can better understand where I'm coming from and what sort of biases I have. So, um, my so these three games were on stream, um, and the only other game I had on stream was this one actually. So I'll just briefly talk about my thoughts of the off-stream games really quick. The first opponent was Azucena player. Nothing they did really made me shift off of my sort of default state per se. They power crest relatively often after running 2, so I just leaned a little more on AAI 4-2, and that helped a lot. This guy was a Paul. He was pretty solid, but sort of similar thoughts. He wasn't really doing much of the shoulder after running 2, but if he was, I have plenty of options to deal with it. I usually prefer just canceling occasionally, but you still have to press there sometimes. This guy was a Leo player, similar sort of thing. First Leo, I tend to lean pretty heavily into sidestep right duck in particular. Um, it beats a lot of things that character does, so just a lot of sidestep right button, sidestep right duck, and a lot of her immediate timing options will get shut down. So, now my first game on stream. Um, this very unhappy with how I played in this game in particular. I think across the whole tournament, I had a lot of problems with my play, but there were a lot of things I did well as well, obviously. But let's go over it. I haven't watched these back, but I lived it. I was there, so.
Ugh. I mean, is it? I just feel like Victor doesn't belong here. He just doesn't, bro.
No, he's here, man.
There's nothing we can do about it, but he just doesn't belong here.
This one right here, you want to
That.
that's way better.
Okay. Oh my God.
Alright, so Sir Pineapple gonna be on player.
I guess I should say like so against Law, I don't really think the character is like I don't think that Law's defensive options ever have to change the way that I play on offense, if that makes sense. So like some characters like Yoshi or whatever, right, or Jack, I have to play very differently on offense. With Law, I don't feel that way. I think Law, the more important knowledge here is just about string knowledge, defense knowledge in general against the character, and grab breaking. Horrible combo conversion. I could have done so much that would have reached. But also,
Okay.
1-1 plus 2 caught him. I think that's 14 frames, so I guess he was just delayed on his press. While standing 1 plus 2 would have worked. Heat burst while standing 2 would have worked. Up forward 1-1 would have worked. Everything would have worked, but I do 1-2-2 or 1-1 and fails. He burst cancel and then misinput down back 1 plus 2 somehow. I don't know what I was going for, but that was what I got, as you could hear from the sound. Did backdash duck, just a sort of standard option, but his DSS option was delayed, so it caught me. It's fine. And back 3, forward 1 plus 2. I tried to step after forward 1 plus 2. I don't think that ever beats while standing 4 there. Maybe if I'm player 2 side, SSR works. I'm not too sure, but it's bad.
Okay, Law.
Just hit me again. I wasn't pressing. I think I was just trying to move, but it hit me, so. It's a 1 break. I was late.
Oh.
He said, I'm a dragon.
I'm a dragon. Oh.
Misinput. I have no idea what I was going for, but I died.
While standing 4 is super linear.
Oh.
Oh! Runs around with the camera. You can't be doing that. That down.
It's too early on my down 4. That's such a sad feeling anytime that happens. You can sidestep there, but it's pretty tough, and he has other string options. I'm not too sure of the frames after it unblock, but I just use sidestep right duck anyway, and it catches something. But I don't with punish. Pretty sloppy set. No duck. but he showed back 2, so it's in my mind now. So he ends up using the string a good bit, and it's something I'm obviously familiar with. But that time, no deck, but it's okay.
Oh, ends up ducking.
Toe kicks are like -3 or whatever, so yeah, after you eat one, it's a pretty good option to do something. If you're close, it leaves you crouched, so if you're close while standing 1+2 is a really good option. It'll beat whatever they do, but he's far. I assume he won't press. I just running 2. In general, you see, this is just kind of the sort of offense I'll normally run. There's a lot of SS button running 2.
Man has a sword, a gun, brass knuckles with knobs on him, and he can teleport. He's in the wrong game. He's in the wrong game. This is martial arts.
He's here now. You gotta deal with him.
I don't know what compelled me to do that, but it worked. So.
Apparently has a parry. I didn't even know that.
You're
No confirm, but it looked like he ducked last second, so that's those are kind of tough to get. The more important ones are if you can see them press into it, which I couldn't see there, so it's okay that I missed it, but I did miss it.
I didn't even know he had a parry. Oh my goodness. I think I offended him.
No whiff punish again. The second time I sidestepped something and then just back 1+2 for no reason. Yeah, very sloppy.
You can stay, I'm sorry.
That was also really sloppy. Just because usually when I'm sidestepping away from the wall like that, it's just my I'll just naturally fish with up forward 1 to start a fish for a whiff, and there I got the whiff, but I jabbed instead anyway. Yeah. So far I feel like it's just been a lot of misinputs, so not too beat up on myself. Too sad about that. That was a pretty good order from him. Yeah, it just didn't happen to me at that day, so I wasn't thinking about it. So it got me. Usually I just prefer canceling running 2, and I do that plenty other times once they're in rage. But I wasn't paying enough attention. That chipped him to rage. I didn't think he running 2 here is a really good option, by the way. If they step, you'll track. They can't really step a running 2 here unless they do a delayed sidestep. If they press something fast, you'll eat it, but that's okay. So usually like after that I'll do like some sort of sidestep option, or I'll do a single jab, or if I think they'll do a passive option, I'll just running 2. They do the running 2. It's very good rage art by him.
Back with it. I support that rage art all day. You want to throw a little rage art at me? I owe you one. I support that rage art.
Chauncey's showing one of I call him the Tekken 8 specials. He's got that power crush high heat pager. He's got all this stance play. These are things that are all super buff in Tekken 8. So
that was an interesting sequence. I go for round start down back 4, which is fine sometimes. Law has a lot of good jab strings that they would want to do around start. Down back 4 can kill them for it if they try to do it. Then I just do while standing 2, just case he mashes or something. And something that is a pretty good option after while standing 2 on block is to do another instant while standing 2. So that's what I go for. Because if they try to jab punish it, because it does look very similar to down forward 2, you'll oftentimes counter hit them, counter hit launch them. So I do instant while standing 2, or maybe while standing 1+2, I'm not sure. But he goes for slower mid counter hit launcher, which is a pretty good option. I could have sidestepped it, but there's a lot of other things I couldn't sidestep after while standing 2, so it's a pretty good option by him. And I caught my while standing punish. It was late. PlayStation 5. Not used to the input delay at this point. Tried to step. And yeah, that can happen when you're close and in frame neutral situations. Those immediate timing while standing 1+2s, those can get stepped, or they can get walked. It usually needs a full sidewalk to commit to it, so it can happen. It's not something that happens often, but I usually like going for while standing 1+2 in those situations because it goes under jabs, and he sidewalked there, which is a very good decision. It keeps while positioning. Then heat smash, and while spotting heat smash, so I'm dead. Great option by him. It was a good heat smash, and it was a good sidewalk.
Jumping spike kick, that was crazy. That was, I don't know if that's anticipation, reaction, but whatever it was fire.
Sir Pineapple definitely not afraid to swing.
I whiffed my jab and then I still pressed a button. Horrible play. It's super sloppy, super sloppy.
Hard to tell.
Like show you his game and
No brain?
make sure you play it, right?
Yeah.
Big wall combo here.
Oh my.
What did I do there?
Hard to tell.
Like show you his game and make sure you play it, right?
Yeah.
Big wall combo here.
I tried to sidestep left. Yeah, I mean that obviously won't work. The wall's right there.
Oh my god.
And then another counter.
Back roll and full crouch, so it was like a pretty good option.
That new
And like I said earlier, just after that, just brief sidestep and then fishing with the up forward one. If I saw he would press, I would finish the string. But I usually don't want to just commit to the cancel there, so just a singular up forward one.
DSS. So good.
Down two would have been a good option there. I think I tried to do that, but maybe messed up my input and just got standing two. Because standing two by itself is a horrible button, so I think I was going for down two. Nice.
Love a good low thing.
Yeah, it's just bad ball combo. I like bad recognition of where the ball was. So I just take the damage. If this was online, I would have gone for the sidestep wall combo, but I wasn't feeling comfortable with the different input delay on the PlayStation, so I didn't go for it at all this tournament. I think if I was playing on a PlayStation more, I would be more familiar with the delay, and I would be comfortable going for it. But here I could have done it, but I did not.
Big wall combo here. Shining.
One thing I know people are going to ask about this a lot, so why do I do 2-1 forward Perfumer 2-2 instead of 1 forward 4-2 for wall Oki? There's a couple of reasons. The main reason is the main reasons are they can backroll and power crush, and if they don't backroll and they're directly to the wall, the down two only does like a few hits. So you end up losing a lot of damage. With the Perfumer 2-2, you have to manually time your III down 2, so I do a brief back step, and that helps me realign with different tech directions, and it helps. And there's no risk of it like only hitting partially. I think for other players that are better at mind games, better at reading players, and better at varying their options, I think like Farzine and Mouel, they can get more value out of forward 4-2 than I will, but for me, it's a very simple, good option. It does more damage, and they can't power crush. They can't back roll and sidewalk if the wall permits them. So this is something I think.
Super yells so loud. He's screaming at the top of his lungs.
Right.
He's doing his move.
I did not know that low forces crouch.
Super yells so loud.
So that was me doing back 1+2 forward.
Screaming
I,
at the top.
I didn't know that for a scratch, so I was just trying to do back 1+2 forward because I assumed it's plus and this would kill if it hit. So that's what I tried to do. So that's why I got while sending 1+2 forward. Not hit confirming it or anything. That was a total fluke. Looks like he presses, so either extension would kill, but the mid is far safer. The high would give me kill there, the mid would work. So how did that hit me? What happened?
Healing on Shining.
Exclusive. Okay.
Plus. Which surprisingly we haven't
I
seen.
got the wall. Oh.
We haven't seen a single running two from
Yeah. Gotta make it stop.
This is a good sidestep. If I just did while standing 1+2, it would have worked fine, but I went for the full crouch slow because I didn't think he would really do anything.
Yeah,
Beat
sure,
him.
pineapple break.
Oh, he jumped
Oh my
over.
god, he jumps over, gets the back
Oh,
shot.
God.
And then no.
Run
Gotta go
back.
with the running. Oh my
He
god.
jumped over
I'm a
him.
dragon.
God.
That was crazy.
Oh,
Sick.
right-handed.
Meant to cancel, but not use input delay there, and he didn't punish, so that was lucky for me.
Minus 14.
But ducks under 2-1, just his hard ducking. Good to launch. Good for him. I wake up sidewalk. He fucked up his wall combo, so like we're off timing anyway, and wake up sidewalk is just super good. You'll see me. I mean, it already has worked for me quite a bit this set, but that's like the type of risk that wake up sidewalk will have in a lot of situations. I'm not sure if you read it or not, but that time I don't wake up sidewalk, then he goes for a homing option anyway, so good thing. So I down two? Yeah, so I down two that time. Just fishing with forward 4-1. It would have been very good if it hit, so it's a pretty good option there.
Nice low parry on the jump. He's attacking play. He knows what he's
Know how to.
I wasn't sure if it low splat or not there, so I just go with forward 4 down 2. It's still what I do in low splat situations, but yeah.
Hey, no lead is safe.
Hey man, that's technically
No
like
lead
three.
is safe. Through the floor. They nerfed this damage so bad. They nerfed it.
Which I'm like, thank God. Okay, it was pretty crazy, especially on like the Evil Arena stage.
Unlucky that it didn't wall spot. Didn't give me a side spot there. Oh well.
Yeah, but it made you feel like you were so good at
2016 you can down forward too, but it's okay.
the game. Look how much damage I did.
It was
I kicked
fun.
him off.
And trust me, like no one benefited more from that more than me because I'm playing Jack. I can,
Oh,
I kind of
yeah.
tell like how much. But like it needed.
Just in neutral, I mean, you can see basically what I'm doing is I'm just fishing with different running 2 timings. It is quite tricky to sidewalk. So offline, because of the PlayStation input lag, I'm generally preferring like the fastest possible timing that I can do running 2. So that's usually what I'm defaulting to. And sometimes I'll get sidewalked, especially if it's a pretty bad predictable running 2, which I do have sometimes, but
I don't care, bro. If I kick you off two stages, I feel like I should really almost. But
Oh my God.
classic law.
He's flipping.
the good down 2-3. Down 2 is a pretty terrible choice of me to press there. I don't know if throw breaks are usually -3 or -6, and a common thing that they'll do is sidestep. So down 2 is just a pretty bad option there. Something like running 2 or like down back 4 would have been there. There's a lot of better options for sure.
He's doing the down.
Uh-oh.
Like I said, Sir Pineapple
Plays
not
low.
afraid to switch. Not afraid to play that long. Like you said.
You gotta run it, let it
No launch.
go.
Okay.
Nice step,
Shot him.
Chauncey. Both where we are.
Hey, gotta love it. Wall to wall.
So I separate duck, and then I don't while standing one him. So he whiffed the slow button, but I still don't launch. Pretty sloppy. But at least I do that.
This stage is crazy. I hate this stage. Like I win on it because I can hit the wall like every time.
Obviously a misinput.
But like damn, like, this stage pisses me off.
I don't know. I like this. I don't mind this play. Yeah, that has to make sense.
Well, it's not. If I want to play Injustice, I'll play Injustice.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
I'm trying to play Tekken.
Okay. Play.
I tried to back 1+2 there, which is a pretty horrible option. He's done sidestep, heat smash a lot. I should have recognized it. This was a little bit of a different situation, and but
What? Oh.
it was a good choice by him.
Breaking the glass. Hit him with the nunchucks.
Man.
Hit him with the wata.
After 1-1-2, I see a lot of victors do like down back 4 or something. That's a fine option against some options, but be careful because it dies to sidestep duck, and that's a very common option. So I like to grab. It's quite low risk there. Grabs are really hard to launch on reaction to ducking. So even if they commit to a duck, if they try to launch, it'll probably be late. Usually just a smaller punish. But it tracks. On counter hit, they're very tough to break. So I really like generic grab after 1-1-2. It's an option I go for often.
Nice break.
Get off.
It usually won't, like, it'll usually get broken, but that's okay. It's fine. It's very low risk.
Oh.
Those are great sides.
Bad.
Those are the type of running. Actually, I'm gonna see that again. Those are the type of running 2s that I go for that are super sloppy, get me killed.
Nice break.
Get off.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's okay though.
Bad.
Uh-oh.
And that should be, yeah. The launch push coming out here.
No break.
Looks like he's too.
He's not playing with him.
Again.
He's not playing.
Wolf's low to the ground for the wall.
Slide.
Nice slide.
That was a pretty obvious slide because the full crouch 3 is a slide misinput obviously, so he just went for it again, but I don't respect it. I'm just trying to get wall positioning, so.
slide. Oh,
That
oh,
sidestep.
how does that whip right there? Oh,
Okay, what's the setup gonna be for Sean?
it's still going.
Oh my god, that was close.
Still going.
He still got heat too.
Oh.
It's a really good rage art.
Can you stop in time?
It's a very good rage art. So, nice job. I don't think I'm dead. I don't remember.
Oh no, switch the camera spec. Switch the camera spec. We're still in it.
Yeah, so I don't have enough health. So that was a intent that while during the rage art, I mean, he's in heat and so am I. So I would usually want to do back 1+2, but he uses his heat smash quickly. In heat is what I've noticed. So I can't really just safely go for back 1+2. So that up 1+2 is specifically to beat run up heat smash, which I think it would have been, but. I don't know if he read it or if he was just going to do this into something, but it was a good option by him and it caught me. So yeah, I went for that to beat the heat smash and he beat it. So nice job.
A legend kick out of the explosion.
Oh my goodness.
He's not busting. He came to play. He came to play.
Something I've started doing at offline events is I'll dead button a running too. So I'll input heat smash as forward, forward, forward heat smash, because if I'm just smashing heat smash, they sound very different on my hitbox. So I don't want to. I've noticed that some people will observe that and then block heat smashes after heat engage in situations like this. I only ever really do it if it either kills or if the wall's there, but it's important to create that situation as a mix-up because it is very threatening when it wall spots. So I input it as dead button running 2. So I don't know if you would have done that or not, but this is just the route that I'm familiar with from before. I know it always works, whether it's heat smash or regular one, and it's pretty easy to do, so I just do that every time. A ton of grabs. I don't know if it's mostly to be back 1+2 usage or if it's just because I'm not breaking them, but me not breaking them as much is exacerbating the problem for sure. So it's not good, that's for sure. It's pretty unfortunate. I got the jab whiff, but the second hit caught my sidestep forward 4. Because I would have, I think, killed from there with forward 1+2 heat dash as well combo. So it's pretty unfortunate. But and then I got hit just fishing for back 1+2, which is it's a fine choice. But I'm not actually sure how plus laws I-10 is. So he grabs anyway. It's a good option. Break it.
Oh, I'm hitting me.
I thought you would. That was a rage art attempt bait. I thought he would do that. What did I do there? Was I going for full crash though? That makes sense.
Oh, I'm hitting me.
Yeah. And I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh.
He dropped it. He dropped that. He dropped it.
Oh no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I ain't gonna lie.
So good for him. I think my biggest problem. I mean, there was a lot of problems that set, but I think watching it back, I think a lot of misinputs kind of summarize a lot of the problems. Then he had some. He wasn't really playing against the Victor offense options super well. He had some pretty good stuff, like the Rage Art after blocking II1 at the wall. That's a pretty good option. A lot of people are just going to Rage Art after blocking the down 2, but he didn't. He went for it after the II1, and the reason that's really good is so there I canceled, so it'll obviously work. But if I do an extension and the extension is delayed, Rage Art will still work there. I don't know if you knew that, but you know it's a good option regardless. You know, and what I would do to beat that is just undelayed extensions, which isn't that's not something that I ever do by default. I'll usually delay the extensions there. I think it helps protect the cancel, and I feel like it's a little bit tougher to respond on defense, mainly because of protecting the cancel. So you got the win. Good job. I don't know. I think a lot of it was just misinputs. As towards why, who knows, but he did a good job. So I can't be too sad about it. I think I probably could have relied more on something like down back four. Um, but I'm not too sure how true that is. I think I need to relook at the forward 1+2 unblock situation. I don't think I was playing that well at all. Um, I think maybe it's just, I think maybe the answer is just if I'm player 2 side, I can step the while standing 4. If I'm player 1, I can't. But then there's still the question of playing the while standing 4 unblock situation better, which I think I can sidestep right to beat a lot of stuff, but I don't have any muscle memory to do so. But the whole sequence is pretty canned, forward 1+2 while standing 4. So situations like that, as long as I know the answer, like I don't have to really have much muscle memory. It'll just work. And then a couple off-stream games that I won against a lot of really, really strong players. So I had a very tough losers bracket path ahead. Samson K was a Jin. I have another game against a Jin later on, so there's not too much to talk about there. You'll see some of my thoughts on Jin. Part Digital was a Lily. There's a strong player in Nebraska who's a Lily main, so I play them a lot, and I know the matchup quite well. There's some other Lily players I know too, so I have a lot of practice in the matchup. Um, in general, I'm just looking to match her sidestep with my own sidestep right, and varying your options is pretty important based on what sort of stuff they're doing. Like if they're doing sidestep down forward 1 or sidestep 1, sidestep punch parry, so sidestep F3 is actually a very strong option there. Um, if they're just or just in general to beat sidestep button down back 4, which is just a pretty universal option to be sidestep, that's pretty good. So um, those are good options. If they're going for something bigger, we could do some of our bigger options. So like instead of sidestep, side walk and press 1+2, that works if they're trying to do something like sidestep down forward 3. But he was mostly just doing sidestep block. I think maybe I did enough down back 4s because I intentionally use it more in this matchup. I think I maybe did enough down back 4s that he was a little scared to do sidestep button. So I just started doing sidestep into bigger options. So like sidestep down 2 or sidestep and then just running 2. Um, or just straight up running 2. um, but that worked out well. And then just some good Lily knowledge defense and stuff. At long ranges, looking to duck 3+4 or their heat smash, the two highs. So KNR, super strong player. He started with Heihachi. I unfortunately don't really know much Heihachi. I haven't really labbed the character, so I'm just going based off of my previous game knowledge generally, and also an observation that a lot of what Heihachis are doing in this game is just pretty big moves, like slower moves, more rewarding moves. His axe kick, whatever he's doing into the stance, super common. Down forward 4, forward 4, whatever it is, the button that tracks sidestep left super well, and it knocks down, and it's a counter hit launch, that button. Stuff like that. The point is stuff like that all shares a commonality of being quite easy to beat with back 1+2. So I was looking for those bigger options and looking to back 1+2 them. In mains played Heihachi the whole time, so we'll also see that. But KNR swapped to Deviljin after a few games, and I did beat his Deviljin too. He was really trying to use a lot of Deviljin's evasive options a ton, like heavy reliance on up 4, heavy reliance on the backswing blow, and also like some other stuff too, like he would try to do the charge move on Oki a lot, which is pretty common, but back 1+2ing there is a plenty fine option. But there's a lot of stuff there. Fishing with down back 4s can be good. Fishing with 1+2 to beat his down back 2 can be good. Important things are just still looking for house sweep sometimes. You will have to make some duck reads versus Deviljin, but a lot of it is he was just really relying on the evasive tools, and I was just sidestepping a lot, so I wasn't getting hit by them. Aimed is a incredible player, Elisa. Super strong. I'm sad this game wasn't on stream or wasn't recorded. He started off 2-0. Then I came back. I think some of the things I did well were some of the similar things I said I did well against KNR, namely back 1+2 usage, I think. There was a lot of situations where she'd be going for like bigger options, like in destruction stance to catch stepping attempts, and those slower options are weak to back 1+2. So I was liberally using that move, and I got a lot of value with it. So um, I know a lot of people will really struggle against Alyssa because they're very concerned about getting sidestepped a bunch, and her sidestep being as strong as it is. Um, to aimed, his attempts to sidestep in super minor situations ended up working in my favor well. For example, I remember after while standing 1+2 on hit, there was multiple times during the set where he tried to sidewalk after that, and my down 2 would catch him still, because it'll still catch Alyssa just fine there. So, um, well, yeah, I mean, while standing 1+2 itself is an incredible button that'll catch a lot of movement options that she'll do, and the down 2 after will continue to punish if they're being stubborn and still trying to step. So that's a super strong interaction that will really help against I mean anyone because it's just a good option there. But if they think they can sidestep a lot and they're going into the game with an approach of trying to sidestep a lot, then stuff like that will work. Okay, so then my next game was against Hasio.
Oh, actually, Sale played Cyrus. That's type of you know.
He won the RPS. I'm pretty bad at P2.
No, man.
I think generally it's kind of complicated. I think I because I don't play player 2 very much, I don't have like a lot of muscle memory for it, which can kind of work to my favor because it means I have to think more. So it means I flowchart a little bit less. So in some ways my player 2 is stronger, but I'm also a little bit more prone to weird mistakes.
Weird
Um,
character, I gotta say.
and I'm a lot worse at
Very
third breaks on player 2.
new entry to the series. When he first came in the game, he was literally broken. Yeah, you know, for sure. The instant grabs and all that other crazy shit. So I automatically had a distaste for him. But then they straightened him
I
up.
want to talk about round start for a bit because there's so much discussion about round start, and a lot of people will just say, just backdash or sidestep round start because you want to get hit, and if you try to press something, you could get hit by anything because there's no buffer, there's no way to time your input. There's a few problems with that. So first of all, while sidestep or backdash is unlikely to get you hit, those are true statements. It's also not it's not necessarily furthering a winning game state, if that makes sense. So maybe the easiest way to say is that when I run into someone who I believe is just going to be doing passive options around start, I will just do a round start running 2 and immediately create a favorable situation. And that can be a little tricky. It's creating an advantage almost immediately. So um, there's another thing too is if you're unwilling to press a button round start, you're not getting better at timing your input with the round start, which means in situations where you then do feel pressured to press a button round start, like for example, if you're playing against me and I'm just doing round start running 2s because I see you doing passive stuff, um, if you want to try to do something faster, and I also do something fast, like a single jab or 1-2, I'll probably time it better, and probably mine will work better. So I think pressing round start, like when you're playing online and you're just trying to get better, I think you should basically always press round start so that you get more used to timing your input round start, and you get more used to the mind games and what sort of options are good. Some basic options that are good, a single jab is really good. For example, like maybe you're against a law, and he's trying to do round start down 2-3 to catch like whatever you do. You can single jab, you'll get hit by the first, but block the second, and you can launch him. Wiring down 4-4, a similar thing, but it's only minus 13. So single jab is good. 1-2 is like a single jab, but more damage. So that's good also. But it dies to those two things I just said. So I usually prefer single jab. 1+2 is good. It kills any slow button. It kills high crush options. 1+2 is good, but it dies to sidestep. Down back 4 is good. It kills any jab string, but it dies to sidestep right duck. So when I play against Victor, I'll just do sidestep right duck round start like every time. And when I'm playing against someone who is doing sidestep right duck, I will just do round start running too, because like I said, that's a passive option. So this is sort of my approach to round start. So I think if you're just playing online and you're just trying to get better, I would encourage you to press something round start every time. And if you want for some basic options to rotate between, 1 is good, 1 plus 2 is good, down back 4 is good, and running 2 is good. I don't think you need a different option, but there are other options that are good. Like up forward 1 is pretty good. Down forward 2 is pretty good. It can catch sets upright sometimes, but that's because it depends on the timing. It depends on like when you press your down forward 2 and when they press their sidestep. So inconsistent, but pretty good. Okay.
And I'm like, okay, we cool now.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
the instant grabs and all that other crazy shit. So I automatically gotta just take them.
Looks like he does do sidestep right duck around start, but he doesn't stand back up in time.
But then they straighten them out, and I'm like, okay.
He's trying to duck I 1 plus 2 already. I take note of stuff like that. And it looks like he ducks to try to beat I down 1 plus 2 there. Yeah. So
Then you got
that catches him.
going crazy like this, and it's still just look at him. He got one
Crazy round.
at
Honor
and
yacht
I'm
is
like,
right.
okay, we cool now. Then you got people going crazy like this, and it's still just look at him. He got one at him. You have to get.
So the whole round he died to II, right? And he knows Victor. That's the problem. Like what he's doing here is actually the stuff that's beating the default responses. Remember? So round start he did sidestep right duck, but he didn't stand up in time. So it's kind of his fault. But he did the thing that I would do against Victor usually. I did the thing that beats it. He got hit. He techs, gets up, fine. Another running 2, that's fine. He's looking to duck I1 1 plus 2. That is like what I do for level 1 against Victor, right? But if they're looking to duck that, that means they're not mashing into you. So you can cancel and then do another option out of cancel, and that will work if they're just sitting there looking to duck the string extension. So again, this is his knowledge of Victor working against him is the problem. And we're at level 1, right? But I know he's a very, very strong player, and I know he knows Victor very well. So I'm not doing the very basic stuff. I mean, even if I don't know who he is, I would be playing like this because if he doesn't know the strings and he doesn't know basic Victor level 1, then I'll figure that out and I can just resort to more simple gameplay. It's just a nice long range option to keep up the sequence. That was actually pretty risky up forward 1 because sidestep left is the better way to go against up forward 1. And that's the natural direction he wants to go right here because of the wall. So in hindsight, I think that up forward 1 was actually a pretty bad up forward 1. They would get me killed a lot. Because like my instinct as the Jin player right here would have been to sidestep left block to try to get away from the wall, and the up forward 1 would have whiffed. So I think that was a pretty bad up forward 1 actually. I wish I didn't do that. I think something that I could have done instead would have been like a 2 jab. Like 2-1 or 2-2. That would catch sidestep left there. It's a much better option, I think, in that situation. But up forward 1 is kind of my default after that, so. But yeah, and exact same thing as the earlier cancel, where it hit him just because he's looking for like a low there. And here I actually show him the low. And then the next running 2 hits him. I think he maybe tried to wake up sidewalk, I think. Yeah, that was a crazy first round. I do run start sub right duck of my own. It's pretty strong against Jin. If you're bad at blocking down 2 on reaction, there's a good option that'll block you down 2. So yeah. Don't know how the last hit me. I think I was trying to like sidestep or something. I remember I got hit a lot by the last hit for like no reason. So I don't know what I did that did that. I think I was just very stubborn and trying to just sidestep still. Great parry. But parry is a pretty small window. It's pretty tough for him to be doing that. So like minute running 2 timing changes can catch parry, and just hit him. That might have been what some of the running twos earlier hit him with. I'm not too sure. But so I'm not too scared of a single parry. Like, it doesn't mean I'm cooked, is what I mean. I tried to whiff punished you early. There is the problem. That was just me ducking, just to do a wall standing 1+2.
Victor with heat is a different character. Victor with heat is a different character.
I'm lucky that reached. That almost looked like a whiffed. And then I was gonna go for a 10 string here, of course, but it looks like he did like use either rage art or sidestep or something. 2 string after heat dash is a really good option in general. I recommend it a lot because it beats rage art because it's I-12 after being +5. It'll usually track. Depends on the character, depends on some other stuff, but it'll usually track there. And when they're low, I mean, you can go into 10 string, and if he didn't die to the 2-1 itself, the 10 hit might have finished the round potentially. Round start 1-2, he did round start down forward 1. Like I said, I think playing into the mind game is pretty good sometimes. And I just my down 2 there because it will track. It's a frame trap, it'll trade. The only thing this down 2 really loses to is power crush. So if they're power crushing in situations like this a lot, I'll try to have more heavy on down 4, or I should be doing some down back 4s in that situation too, but I'll usually down 4 instead. Oh, another thing too. Make sure after a heat engage, you're not delaying your running 2 at all. It used to be correct to do that. You would want to do a tiny before they made it slower, because it used to be I-16. So if you did it completely buffered inside the input window, you'd never get a counter hit. So I used to intentionally delay my running 2 and manually time it so that I could hopefully get a counter hit, and that left me open to getting parried actually. But now with it being I-18 and +17, you can fully buffer it and you'll get your counter hit and you'll beat parry, and it's all auto timed. So that's at least one nice thing about the running 2 being slower. But if you ever get parried there, that's because you were late. You need to fully buffer your running 2s. There's no reason to not fully buffer your running 2 after heat engage. He keeps on ducking there every time, which is kind of crazy. It's a weird habit. Maybe he's eating too much II down 1+2s there, I guess. Or maybe he's doing like a delayed press or delayed sidewalk or something. I'm not too sure. It looks like he's just ducking. So that was the exact same thing as round 1, except he did a back 2 or up forward 2. I don't remember. And it evaded the IA1 because it steps left. So if he did that the first round too, that might have actually splatted me in the first round. And I was going for 10 string again. So, but yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. It looks like he has a lot of habits that are usually good habits, but get him killed with the options that I play and the options that I'm doing. He clearly knows Victor. He clearly knows the situation. But it was a good start for me.
Haseo lose a game 1. Matter of fact, I beat Haseo in a game 1 back in the day. You know, he turned around and whooped my ass 2 times in a row.
That's Tail is always not. I think Haseo is one of those players that's kind of, he likes to watch.
Yeah.
He likes to let you set the pace.
Good parry.
Like he learned something right there.
That whole time he's thinking, all right, this is how I'm going to respond. I'm going to hit you with something not ready to do. Close the gap.
Victor. Can't let Victor.
You can see, just in general, I'm just looking for sidestep right. That's sort of how I will play against Jin in general.
Back against the wall, he breaks the grab.
Okay, you gotta break that. Nah, he didn't break. He didn't break. Yes, he did! And Chauncey steals the first game.
This is the same sort of thing I said earlier, where I do wall standing 2 into instant wall standing 2, and it can catch a lot of different options. Like, it'll kill jab strings. Here, this was just a 2-1 into wall standing 2, but just those sort of instant wall standing buttons in heavily minus situations, they're pretty good options, actually. So here I was going for that, and it worked. Tried to power crush. Bit of just a mistake. It's never a good option there. But I think he got a little bit nervous, perhaps.
Wow. I did not know.
That was pretty bad. I wonder if IA2 would have hit. It might have. It looked like it might have, because the axis would help.
That wall.
Okay.
This is a similar sort of thing, but I'm just doing full crouch low. I guess I should probably speak towards my usage of it a lot. It's just really good, and particularly in low health situations, because when they're in rage, I can't get as much chip value anyway. And it can be kind of tough to finish off rounds. So full crouch 1+2 really helps there.
It's almost too patient. Can't let niggas just beat on you like that.
I don't know why I pressed back 1+2 there. It's a pretty bad choice. It'll work if he is like doing larger delays, but what also works if they're doing larger delays is sidestep right. So you could just sidestep right the last hit if they're delaying it. But that wasn't even a delayed one anyway, so it would have hit that as well. Really, you just block it, and then you down 2 him after, or you running 2 him after, or you down 4 him after. Your choice.
You gotta hit him back. You gotta shit like that.
I'm a little scared of my running 2s getting parried. I remember having that thought, because it is, it's pretty bad, but it's a little tough, so. You see, just constantly sets up right button. These aren't hitting him, but it still has gotten me a lot of value during this set, and it changes the way he's playing. He's avoiding playing on immediate timing, and tries to down 2 because I guess I'm doing jab strings, but. And I'm just doing backdash duck there. That's why I ducked it. Too late to punish though. So I tried to punish with while sending 1+2, but I had already stood up in time, so. You gotta just do the done for it too. I remember whiffing that. I was pretty sad about that. You have to just rip it, because I know that sidestep right will make it whiff, but you just have to do it right away.
That was risky. Okay.
I was looking for a low parry there, because Jin has the low high string that they'll often finish around with, so I was looking to low parry that. Well, so the reason I'm going for this, I down 1+2 is, first of all, I need to. I don't really have much of a choice. Like I'm looking at the health situation, and I don't really have too much else in terms of options to win the round. So I feel I have to go for them. But also I haven't really been going for it much this set or in general. So it's important to make them consider it as an option, and I think he's clearly trying to play a little bit safe, so he's not just ducking into it, because he is such a huge lead. So, but in reality, I just had to make a huge comeback, so I was going for him.
Okay.
I have to talk about that Oki, I think, but. This is a pretty good Oki option by the wall, in fairness. Like the regular options are good too, but if you want to go low, this is the strongest low that you have an option to. And again, I mean, he stood up into it, right? I'm already in II with his back to the wall. Like, it's a scary situation for him for sure. He can duck this but everything in the stance splats, and he stood up into it. I have frame advantage. It's a pretty solid option here. So that's what I go for, and I just steered again. He stayed down. I read he'd stayed down. Weird down back.
Wow.
Then similar sort of thing as before. And it does so much damage. Counter hit bonus plus rage bonus, and it just kills. It's such a high damage low. It's really good for finishing off rounds. He decides to swap Yoshi. I'm not too concerned, because I don't, Yoshi is obviously a stronger character, but I've always known Haseo as a Jin, so I didn't know he had a Yoshi. So I don't know, he's gonna be more prone to dropping stuff. Yoshi is not as specialist of a character as people will say he is. Yoshi has several just core buttons that are so strong you can just rely heavily on those. But in truth, Yoshi is the character that I've practiced the most against and studied the most. So, and he would have to win 3 straight. So I'm feeling pretty good when I see him lock in Yoshi. So I'm just looking to play my basic. I'm assuming he's going into this with an idea already of he's going to be looking to spin and he's going to be looking to flash my plus sequences. So I'm mentally preparing myself to not do that, to not play into flash or spin.
This is unprecedented.
Yo.
The Jin
Unprecedented.
main legacy Jin player
Talk.
just picked his master, his teacher's character.
Talk to him.
Oh, is that true? I didn't know the Tekken lore.
Knowledge. All right, this is secret knowledge right here. I'm about to witness some tech.
So that's why I canceled it, right? But similar sort of thing. Just those while standing twos have gotten me a ton of value versus him. Because I think maybe that's just his Jin burn, but he'll be looking to do those jab sequences, right? When he's super plus, because they're usually pretty good, but there's a huge risk of dying to those while standing buttons, just like this.
Okay. Get out of there. Get out of the way on the Yoshi good.
Okay. Big combo.
Oh.
And drops it, so yeah.
Okay. Fingers probably pressed the gym.
Yeah, be like that.
Accent, you think it's over? Yoshi, man. It's always
And yeah, Yoshi can spin out of it. It's just him, and Paul at some angles can shoulder out of it, but just those characters. So he does spin out of it. I could have baited it, just doing regular II sway, and then with punish the spin is an option that you can do to beat this. But I commit to the string anyway, and yeah, he does evade it. It's good on him.
look at it.
But he doesn't get a good punish. He gets no punish essentially.
Okay, another counter hit launch.
Sidestep button, and he does full crouch down forward 4, right? It's the same sort of thing with down back 4. It just kills sidestep button, so he gets me. But it's a low splat, doesn't recognize it. Yeah, that's a character unfamiliarity.
Oh no, counter hit launch all the way.
Yeah, just II back. Cancel is the safer. Cancel's usually better against flash, but I just do II back sway. And then I was just committing to the low anyway. That wasn't even a reaction with punish. I was just doing that option. I'm kind of playing by feel at this point, especially because I'm player 2.
Flash, big boy flash. Put the sword away. You want to get him with the big one. Let's
Nice.
Great hop kick, really good hop kick.
Come on, show me that.
Okay.
I've been relying a bit too much on the lows in this set, so it's a very good hop kick.
Ah, but he's in there.
He's there. Uh-oh.
And yeah, just running to. It's kind of a good hop kick because if I went up and tried to do like 10 hit, which is how I've like 2-1 is how I finished off multiple rounds. If I wanted to do like dash 2-1, that might have gone under it, so makes sense. But I just running 2.
God, I hate that.
The hop knee on the way to
I hate that move. What are you really supposed to do?
wait for it to pass and flash his ass, like right there.
That
Needs to be
move.
watched.
Wait for it to pass and flash his ass, like right there.
So yeah, just backdash duck and then while standing 1+2. And he was trying to do like run up and then do something slow. I'm not too sure what, but I just do backdash duck, and then I see that he chooses some aggressive option, right? So like the option that I commit to there after II2 is backdash duck, and then while I'm doing backdash duck, I see that he just runs up, so I just let it while standing 1+2 rip, and it does catch him. Down 2, that's a bad down 2. Don't do that against Yoshi. I think like NSS flash will kill this, but 1+2 beats NSS flash, and if he has the sword out, flash beats both. However, it's not as rewarding, so 1+2 is a good option here. I think it maybe catches spin too, but I'm not too sure. So this is a bad down 2. I shouldn't have done it, and I had the thought as a hit, but it still worked, so I got lucky.
They are really not using sword flag. Okay.
I duck. No break.
Let's go. Big move.
That's how, if you buck one low, just start mashing while standing 4. That's your option if you're not familiar with the string. There's a little bit more to the string, but that's the most basic thing to know. And again, I'm just fishing with like sidestep button and stuff, which is a little risky because it opens me up to dying to full crouch down forward 4, but it beats a lot of other stuff, and so you can't just take fully passive options, right? I think you look back at those first couple of rounds against the Jin, and I think it shows what passive options can, what happens when you just go for passive options consistently. It's too late. So again, I think that set was just I went for aggressive options and they paid off consistently. So.
Let's go.
So like I said earlier, I don't know much about Heihachi, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
It's tough.
I'm just really, you know, you sit down and you're playing a tournament set, you just have to run your offense. You just have to run your game plan and go from there.
Demons, we don't need
Snap
that.
you like a twig. Come on. Let's go. Block that.
Clap step.
Oh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, gotta
Come
go.
on. Let's go. Block that. Oh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that was somewhat of a theme this set. Electric dash electric. He caught me with that a few times, and that's the first time. Because what I'm doing there is I block the electric, and then I'm just doing sidewalk right. It'll beat his like frame trap options, because it's pretty far, and it's a sidestep is a pretty good option after blocking electric. So he's doing dash electric, which will catch my sidewalk, because in order to step an electric, you need the more evasive part of it, just the beginning of the step. Just idly walking and you will get hit. So it's a very good option from him. And it takes me a bit to adjust and recognize, but I recognize it right away and it's a very good option.
Okay.
Take him.
Oh, yeah. On his ass. Let's go.
Not the old man.
Come on. It's on with that shit. Let's go. Then he got
I should have just done the heat smash. I figured he's thinking of it for sure. So I was thinking about the heat smash. I usually will just rip it. I will always just rip it, but it would have worked so well.
Yup, stomp his head. Come on.
God.
Come on. Let's go. 1-0 Heihachi. Let's go.
Okay, that was a strong first round.
Yoshi ain't hold it down for you. My Heihachi looking like he doing something out here.
I'm saying.
I don't even know if that's unsafe or not. I think I might have been late. Yeah, it's, again, very little Heihachi knowledge regarding new things.
Come on, Heihachi.
Generally, my plan is just to move around him and run my own game plan and hope for the best.
I thought we wasn't gonna see you again.
I'm saying.
Let's go.
This is where it's at.
This is where it's at.
Okay, big launches, full combo, taking them to the wall, dropping.
Look, it don't
doesn't
matter.
Again, I wake up sidewalk like 3 times and it just gets hit every time. So it's something that I need to do less. I don't recall if I do it or not, but wake up sidewalk is the type of thing where it's a really strong option, but there's a lot of things that will beat it, and you need to be able to adjust to not do it if you're dying.
Oh, he lived alive.
Already got
Look at the
stacks
Let's
on
go.
the install.
Let's go. Come on.
Need one more stack for full install.
Yep.
Go to 4-4
Block.
with.
There you go.
Oh, side steps.
Sorry.
Still just wake up sidewalking. I'm very stubborn, but he doesn't kill me for it. I wonder if he's recognized that pattern as much as I'm doing it. I'm not sure.
You get the omen after that, but that
After blocking generic down 4s, doing 1+2 is a super good option. Generic down 4s are -4 in this game, so if they press a wall standing 4, it'll trade with your 1+2 and you can pick up for a combo.
that down forward too is so much easier.
What
Oh,
why did
side
that
step.
electric him?
Sorry. You get the omen after that, but that down forward too is so much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. He does a dash electric there. If he just did an immediate timing electric, my wall standing 1+2 would have worked, but he goes for a dash electric, which catches my wall standing 1+2. Good option.
Big combo. There you go.
The wall. That down forward 3 is so good.
Oh, he didn't duck. Okay. that might have done him enough to survive.
Bad. Bad. Haven't labbed my flow rate combos. Just sloppy.
All 3 stacks.
And then I mistimed my down 4 versus tech as well, so if
Nah, you don't worry about those, bro. You save those for the final round.
I didn't know he had a throw there. I'm just doing while standing 1+2. Again, I'm just playing my default game, which is just a lot of while standing 1+2, running 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You don't pop ultimate hey, I just do the
It
final round.
really,
No. You know you got it.
Sean, honestly, we got such an uphill battle right now.
I wouldn't even think about pressing.
Oh, I'm not. I wouldn't.
That's so frustrating, man.
If I did forward 4-1, it would have splatted instead there. In situations like that where I'm sidewalking away from the wall, forward 4-1 is usually a better option when a whiff is created. I should have done it, and I've started training myself to do so, but that time I didn't, so unfortunate. And then this time I down 4 again, very sad.
He gets the just range version of that and keeps that going.
You see, I'm fishing with Duck a lot when he's in my face, like that. Especially when I'm this far behind in the round. It's kind of surprising he went for that hell sweep because the only real way I could have had back in was to block a hell sweep or something like that. It's tough.
Come on.
Infinite stage, very tough.
I mean, in veins.
Look, you repping the character, you're not even repping the player.
Whoever had Heihachi, that's what I'm riding with. And it just happened to be in veins. Let's go. Rod rest. My turn. Look at the wave.
Dash electric, same thing as what happened in the first rounds.
Electric City, you're the mayor.
Boom. Pop. Yeah.
Damn.
Yes. Where'd your health go? Look. He pulling guns out and shit.
It's late.
He had it. No, he did not just pause in his face like that.
The delay there was an accident, by the way. Like I pressed down 2 immediately, but I pressed it too early, so it didn't come out. So the delay was fully unintentional.
There you go with a duck. Okay.
I guess it is -10, or maybe he did something. I have no idea.
Okay.
Very good. Looked like a little bit of a delayed side step.
Okay.
Omen, Thunder, Godfist. Having trouble getting the track. Oh!
Yeah, and then like I said earlier, full crouch, like doing sidestep, instant full crouch 1+2. This is a really good way to close out rounds. It's just a very high damage low. It's quite fast. It's a good button.
Could not get the final hit.
And you see, I'm usually doing like a sidestep with it. See, he's just trying to play the situation after while sending 1+2, but not sure why I whiffed, but it did. Oh well.
Okay. Take it a little bit.
I'm super sloppy. Just you know, he has mids, right? It's a guess, but in truth, it just wasn't in my head at all. Just super out of practice against this character, so no duck.
Yeah.
If you don't know the string, you're supposed to block the second hit, and then it's -10, so you're supposed to dick jab to punish it. You can also do like you know, because dick jab is such a small punish, it's reasonable to go for like a full crouch 1+2 instead. It's more damage.
Keep it old school. It might take 2 hits, but it works. Oh, that's big. I think that's guaranteed in this better be. Oh my god.
Oh, Heihachi, big boy damage.
Why
And then we would have kept going. We were going to chase it down on that wall.
Why did they make this character like this?
He deserved it because I told you because of how they made him in 7. He deserved it.
That whole sequence there was actually this was interesting.
We would have kept going. We were going to chase it down on that wall.
So we traded, and then I go for a slow option. It was a pretty bad choice. He went for a much better option there. Something I should have done instead would have been like 1+2. 1+2 is pretty good there, or just another jab. That would have worked, but. And then I wake up sidewalk as I always do. I'm still just sidewalking. I think I maybe did. I think I maybe ducked or something at this point, but he delayed. If he did it immediately, the sidewalk may have worked. I'm not sure.
He deserved it because I told you because of how they made him.
Electric. I read a dash electric, so I short dash into his face to hopefully bait it, and then I duck to try to duck the electric and what's new plus to him. He doesn't bite, so I just run at him. This is kind of what I do a lot. You'll notice a lot of. I probably could have mentioned this earlier. Something I'll do very commonly, right? Like I will do some sort of defensive option like that, like sidestep duck or just like sidestep block or something. And then when I see they don't commit to an option, I will just do a running two at them. So that's exactly what I do here. And sometimes those running twos can get stepped because it's a pretty predictable gameplay pattern when you see it a lot. And it's something I'll do a ton. Like, again, I'm choosing an aggressive read-based defensive option, which here I did dash duck. And then I see that they didn't do anything. They chose a passive option, so he just sidestep block. I'll just running two in his face. I wasn't sure what the hit count was because it hit him out of the air and it used tornado. So I wasn't sure if I could do. I wasn't sure if the second hit of III 4-2 would hit, so I just do 2 and it, just take the damage and OK.
I hope they give him yell that tree, bro. Oh. Oh, let's go. He smashed. One more move.
Late, I think. Or maybe that's only -12. I don't actually know.
Nice, down 4-1 to close it out.
The block. Okay.
That grab was actually meant to be 1-3, but I input it too much together, I guess. Usually after whiff gunshot, I prefer power crash instead of cancel. It depends on the spacing, but if they're close enough that they may attempt to punish, your power crash armor frames will activate before blocking in III. So in a sense, it's safer to go for a power crash. Yeah, again, it loses different things, right? But if I think they will try to be punishing the gunshot, I'll just do a power crash because it's better. That probably wasn't a very good choice. I don't know what down back 2 looks super plus, but it probably is. But you know, he's going for a slower, bigger option. So even if it's like a while standing 4 or whatever would have tracked, he's going for more rewarding options, which is good. But my sidestep will catch it. I don't know if that was a punish or not. I mean, that was forward forward 2. I don't know if its frames change. I have no idea what his empowered state does. Again, just super unfamiliar. It was visibly not a good enough dash. I could have just I should have just done II 2.
There you go. They gave him the backward Still here.
Catches him.
Okay. 1-1.
Got lucky there. Got lucky. Grand start 1+2. I told you, good option. It beats a lot of things. Again, I just think playing into their start main games to get practice doing it is good. And then when you're in games that matter more, you can vary yourself between passive options and aggressive options. We have a lot of great rewarding options that we could press around start, and we have such amazing combos. If we do get a launch, it's so rewarding. And if we start making them go for more passive options, we have a great move to take advantage of those situations we create, which is running 2. I will always not wall break after a long combo like this because it's so much better to just get the Aoki situation, and I don't think I could have reached the next wall. If I would have known of a way to reach the next wall, I would have done it, but I don't know if that exists. So it's usually going to be better to just keep the wall and do the Aoki situation.
Shout out to him for busting the shots, y'all. Come on. Oh my.
I don't know. I don't know what that was. Is that like a punch parry? Probably. I don't know. But that's just a common sequence I'll do. It's just II into power crush. It's a pretty good sequence because like the fast options like jab and down 4-1 or whatever, they'll just interrupt the armor anyway, which is good for me because we don't want those to get absorbed by the armor, because if they get absorbed by the armor, we'll get launched. So we get the reward of beating the big buttons without the risk of dying to the small buttons, and also because we're so minus. If they try to sidestep there, and the range is pretty long, if they sidestep block, the power crush can actually still hit them. So it's a very strong option there, but you know everything comes with risk. If they predict it, they can just duck launch, of course, but they kind of have to do like that, or a fast move that will whiff to backdash. So.
Trying to keep it aggressive, taking damage.
Well, like he got smoked for doing the right thing, because that was you think you would have thought that would have parried that. Okay, hey.
I don't know what I'm doing, so I just stuck.
Man, Sean's hitting
That meant to be an up forward one, but I just misinput, just didn't get the up forward. Unfortunate.
He's over here clutching on the like, get him, hey hot. Come on, get that man off me. Get him off you, hey hot. God damn it. Alright, at least that wasn't. There you go. Okay. Keep guessing.
Hey, plus
Yeah, great heat
Bluff.
stay on the wall. What's the combo?
Remove him. Get him out of here. We don't need that kind of negativity.
Again, this same thing I was saying about earlier, right? I'm doing just round start, sidestep, duck. I see that he doesn't do some aggressive option, so then I just do an immediate timing as fast as I can, running 2 in his face. Again, very, very common.
Come on, man.
Interesting interaction. Here, so the sequence, the whole thing wasn't guaranteed, but he turns around after the II 2-2, which I should have recognized, and then not finished it, but I finish it anyway, so he punishes.
You gotta pop the heat. You gotta pop the heat. Dang.
Chauncey looking strong.
4 rounds into it, you gotta have some stop. Salute to him for riding with the old man all the way through.
I definitely think it's an upgrade from Devil Jin. I mean, because now he's not playing around the weaknesses of his character.
Yeah, but at the same time, his thumb's been on Devil Jin all day. They've been cooking. He's cooking with Devil Jin. Yeah, he lost, but he's cooking. Come on, Heihachi. Oh.
Wrong punish. I know it's punishable. This was again the situation. I'm just doing run start sidestep duck, and it catches it down back 2, but I wasn't ready, so I just do a while standing 1+2. Stuff like that makes me feel pretty bad. Hate missing punishes.
Most people, a lot of people don't know, but if you block that down back,
I avoid getting up because I'm afraid of getting up and then just sidewalking and getting hit by that again. So I stay down and I do delayed get up kick.
oh yeah.
Unfortunate.
Get hit with that. This is the biggest starter we got. This is the biggest combo starter we got. Okay.
There, I was smart enough to not just tech crawl sidestep, so I just block it, and it's like the first time. I just I don't just wake up sidewalk. Yeah, I actually block it. It killed me, but then I'm still just trying to sidestep away from the wall. Whenever I'm near the wall, my goal in general is to be sidestepping away from the wall and fishing with like an up forward 1 or a forward 4, or just continuing to sidestep block if I wanted a passive option. But as I've discussed, I think passive options are usually incorrect in this game.
This man really does.
Tried to power crush, so he's just missing some Victor knowledge is really all it is. I got lucky, I guess. I imagine people will have learned more next time.
And it ain't stopped since.
This was a conscious decision. I figured I would just go all the way down, and there would be higher variance. You know, we have some pretty good options downstairs, namely our heat smash. You know, so I figured I'll just go downstairs, and that may help me close it out.
Okay, wasted the floor break.
It's not wasted the floor break. We don't really have good ways of triggering the floor break, so I just decided I would rather be downstairs. Like it's like what, just our up forward 1+2 throw is I think the main good way. I don't think doing it mid combo usually even adds damage. It sometimes can, but so intentionally trigger floor breaks that we would go downstairs to increase variance because I think Invains is obviously a stronger player than I am. You know, on the day I think I was playing pretty well, but yep.
But now you know down here is hell, bro.
Oh yeah, it's gambling.
So I talked about earlier, like I'll just do something like sidestep left, duck, and then like I play from there based on I see what they do. So like if he did backdash there, I wouldn't have been able to do while standing 1+2. I would have whiffed. So, but he sidesteps with me, so while standing 1+2 becomes a good option. That time it catches him. Usually it'll get blocked sometimes, you know, but he's not trying to take passive options. He's trying to go for more aggressive options as well. And while standing 1+2 is super good.
Casino.
What did I catch there?
Casino.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good power crush. And this is the reason I went downstairs, right? Like now at this point, Heat Smash is so scary. My goal right now is kind of just to safely get out of an II sequence so that I could start pressuring with the Heat Smash threaten. It's basically what happens because he gave me a free out with his Heat Burst, which is not a good option there. It loses. It's quite risky. It'll die to extensions from II1, and it doesn't really create a favorable situation for him. So I think that's a bad option there, and it let me sort of go back to a more neutral state. And I just sidewalk after getting hit by it because it's only +2, and then fish with an up forward 1. He presses into it. I finish it and smash. Yeah, it's bad. Again, the same sort of thing. I thought the wall was closer. Like that's why I do the Perfumer 2-2-1 to try to get the high splat extra hit, as it were. Obviously, II2 would have worked just fine, but misread the situation, and I got lucky this even hit granted. I don't know why I pressed that.
Come on, man. I still believe in it. I still believe in it. I can't whip that. You cannot whip that. On block, you good. You whip that, they got an hour left.
Same thing. I saw him like twitch somehow. I think he did like a little tiny sidestep, which is a natural option, but it'll get you killed there. I think if he might have been able to make it whiff if he backdashed, but he did not go for that. I learned. Also, that's a low spot for sure. It's very, very important when you're playing this character to recognize low spot wall hits. So I see a low spot, so I do forward 4-2. I'm sure. I think it's clearly a low spot. Okay, so I heat dash and then do my low spot wall combo, which is this. And I decide to just end it, I guess. Risky decision, but I haven't been doing it against him much, so.
Professional, clap was snarky, but I'm really trying for Heihachi right now. Like, nah, he earned that. That was
incredible player though. Incredible player.
Real good player.
I think he just missed some important Victor knowledge, or maybe just
They massacred my boy.
yeah, just some certain areas where he was going for wrong options. That's all it comes down to. So last player is a Nina player. Never played them, but I know they're super strong. I had watched the Farzine versus Arslan set. I watched that a few days prior, so I'm looking a little bit for punch parry options, but in general, it's pretty scary because I think like the thing that I've been doing well at this point in time in the tournament is good back 1+2 usage against bigger options, right? So like versus Heihachi, some electrics or some like axe kicks or whatever. The back 1+2 usage was getting me a lot of really good value versus him, helping escape some pretty bad situations. So versus Nina, however, you can't rely on it as much because if she's fishing with like 1-2 or down forward 1-2 or just regular down forward 1, you're much more prone for those small options to getting reactively duck launched after they get absorbed. Power Crash is good versus bigger moves that recover slower, but it's very bad versus those small moves. And Nina is a character that's more likely to lean on that. Farzine kind of showed me the idea of using forward 3 more. So in some situations where you would want to power crush, forward 3 is a really good choice there. So I had that thought in mind, but it's not a game plan that I'm comfortable playing because it's very new to me. And it's not something that I've used much at all at this point. So I have it in my mind to try to do more forward 3 and a little less back 1+2, but it's not something that I'm comfortable executing. So I'm still mostly just trying to run a running 2 based offense and hope for the best.
Matt, and I'm mad I didn't get aim to, man. That was
So there, yeah, I'm already trying to fish
man,
with
I'm
forward
mad I didn't
3s.
get
Because again, this is what I was thinking about while I was waiting. So
aim to, man. That
was a good one. That was an example of how good forward 3 is as a punch parry. If you get your punch parry, that's great. But even when you don't get the punch parry, you've created a favorable situation because now you're in perfume right in their face.
Stop that. I'm not dealing with that. Oh, that's that. What is it when you press? That's that negative?
Yeah, it's that negative.
That was like more than 15. That Victor launcher was so good. It's more than 15 frames.
He's a pretty bad while standing 1+2. I think he's just trying. I don't know. But he doesn't really do anything there. But that was a bad down back too. That's the type of stuff where like as I do it, it's like I recognize, oh god, and I try to not. 1-2 and while standing 2 catches the homing option. Again, so you see, like I'm always choosing aggressive options, but not just like pressing. Like some permutation of in almost all situations, I'm varying my options between sidestep, or raw duck, or mash, and usually combining one of the movement options with a button, or a different movement option. So there's an example.
He's not playing.
Yeah, and the same sort of thing. Just that's the same back 1+2 I did earlier, and you see he did a small sidestep block, so it worked.
Man.
I think he's dead. Yeah.
Play somebody knows how to play Victor.
There's no one in the world who has years of matchup knowledge against Victor. He ain't been here for years.
Late on the punish. Not enough practice in the matchup. I think also I'm supposed to go sidestep right there to evade that, but I went left and it worked anyway. I'm not too sure what's going on there.
Man, look. He's flowing.
I'm scared of getting power crushed again, so I cancel. Also, I think it's minus 14, but yeah. Oops. I had the hesitation. If I just immediately did the running 2, it would have been fine, but I hesitated because I thought, oh, these are the type of predictable running 2s I do that get me killed. But it actually would have been fine. So then I hesitate, and then it enters his mind as well, and then he gets the walk on the second approach. Pretty sloppy. I want to rewatch that. Yeah, so the first running 2 would have also been a bad running 2, but both of them are pretty bad. To be honest, running in with the up forward 2 that first time would have been good, but it's not a move I use too much, but this is a great sidewalk.
You let Taylor Swift get the rolling. It ain't gonna take long.
Start rolling downhill.
It ain't gonna take long. Okay.
That catches sets up left there. Interesting, I didn't know that. Lucky she turned around. I should have done forward 4-1, but she turned around. And that's a situation where I would have gone for the side swap ball combo, but because I didn't feel like I was too clean today, just on like smaller things, I don't go for it. But this would have been an opportunity to go for it. I think I could sidestep right in between the hits, but I don't recognize it. I think I could have sidestepped right there too. And down 3 catches sidestep right there, which is an interesting option. I didn't know that. That makes sense. That's very strong then. But it's something that I could look forward to in the future and look to duck the second hit and then up forward 1-1 there. That would have been an incredible option because I can still commit to the sidestep right as long as I don't press a button, and then reactively duck in response to seeing down 3. Good option by him. He just does a delayed duck or sidestep duck. But okay, it's okay. Like, it's still not that scary. Like, just going for down back 4s around stairs sometimes is okay. It's just about different options. You know, different options be different things and lose different things. I don't know what I was going for there, but I pressed something.
Played out like a baby. He ain't lost respect. There you go.
Nice, good tap. I showed him forward 4-1 at this point.
Victor dying to gunshots. Yeah, and they use them. They are not props. Ian got switched.
Auto.
You know, Victor gonna pop one. Bow.
And that's another way I use forward 4 a lot, right? Especially when now I've shown them forward 4, it creates a lot of hesitancy on block. The move itself is minus 10, but that's the fakest minus 10 ever. You can pretend it's plus, right? So there's plenty of scenarios where doing something after forward 4 is a good option. It's a very threatening button. So I use it in my wall sequences a lot like this sometimes. So like there, I'm fishing for a sidestep punish, right? But I don't see it, so I don't press the 1. That doesn't mean my turn is over. I can still do something. So I go into crouch and I look for a full crouch +2. Gets him, and now I'm at 0, so I can do sidestep into another button. That's what I do. I do sidestep up forward 1. It's a replay of the exact same situation, right? I'm looking for a whiff during the sidestep, and if I saw a whiff, I would have finished the string, but I didn't. This time I just hold back because it's a little bit scary to just raw duck after up forward 1, and it's a good thing I did hold back.
Victor got trigger discipline. He's looking down the sights.
I try to sidestep after the throw break, and that catches me. So a lot of this is, again, he knows his tracking options quite well, which I guess is a lot of different moves.
You know, special agent.
Even letting that shit go, even if she's still done. Look at this. Oh my, what is that?
Pretty good hop kick. I was trying to close out the round, so I went with the low. Part of it also is I was a bit scared of power crush still, so.
What interruption. Just fuck your pressure with a hop kick.
I don't know what string that is. That looks like it's part of her 10 hit or something. I guess it must not be. But I know there's a second hit to high there. It's like down forward 3-1 or something. So like that string that he just did has a second hit high option. So I do duck while standing 1+2 is what I try to do, but I misinput anyway. But that's what I'm looking for. But he did a different string that I didn't know she had. And I guess it does that. I go for Fumer. I go for F3 there, which is a pretty good option there. I'm glad I went for that option, but he goes for the throw, which would beat it, of course. It's a great throw. Second hit catches my sidestep button, right? So like I tech roll, sidestep, and then I'm looking for the up forward 4 or the forward 4 to punish the whiff. Second hit catches me, so the string is a very good option there. It's tough to beat. I guess I just needed to go with a more passive option, I think. It's tough. Tried to wake up sidewalk. I'm honestly surprised it didn't work. I feel like because I thought that move had its tracking nerfed, but and I mean it did, but I guess it didn't. I don't know. Good timing maybe.
Oh, just to splat you again. This man is evil. Oh!
I don't know what I pressed there, but I pressed something. At this point, I'm trying to imitate Farzine. Like I'm just thinking Farzine showed me the blueprint, right? It's forward 3s. It's still playing fast. Trying some dick jabs. Like I did a little bit of that last round too. So it's tough. It's tough. I feel like a lot of what I'm trying to do is getting stuffed. Like a lot of the sidewalks will get caught by strings. Things are tough.
He understands it now. Look, he understands it now. Hey, those last 2 games look a whole lot different from that first game.
Yeah, you gotta warm up.
Like, look, he ain't let him lock him down ever since. He got locked down that first game. He said, I will defend you. Just to get your ass off if I got it. My favorite quote.
Wow. I didn't react to it being blocked quick enough. I could have power crushed this.
Get the rhythm down.
Okay, Chauncey, you realize that you gotta do something.
Chauncey switching up the rhythm.
You have to do something right now. You don't have no more. You don't have any more games.
Pretty obvious forward 4-2, right? He's clearly fishing for the duck earlier. Could have just done a regular forward 4, but either way, this kind of shows the value of forward 4. There's so many different ways you can use it. I just got a little bit of chip that was basically free to go for. And that was a great option. I need to see that back.
Chauncey switching up the rhythm.
You have to do something right now. You don't have no more. You don't have any more games.
Playing around the eyes.
So he was late on his press there, because that should have just interrupted the armor, but he was slow to press, so it worked. Good option, I guess.
Hey, oh my gosh, he hit him 18 times and still ducked it.
Tried to power crush, but I guess I don't have enough frames.
That moment. That moment.
I might have been able to down forward too, but probably not.
That's annoying.
I did Perfumer, I did forward 3 there. Easy to just spin the Power Crush, right? Why not? I know.
Get that shit out of here. Oh my goodness. Hook it. 1-1. Oh, big one.
So that was just me going round start, side step, down forward 2. I wasn't reacting to anything there.
Right forward. That looked like that's his favorite.
And this is actually like a similar sort of thing. You know, obviously it would have been a punish, right? But he was just waiting for no third hit and then pressing a button. And that's why I do Power Crush there, is because if they wait for a third hit, they see no third hit, then they're going to press something. Then they're going to realize that it is their turn to press something, so they'll press something. And by the time they have realized that they want to press something, the Power Crush frames will have activated. Unfortunately, the button he presses is a fast button that will let him do this. So, great option. Great option. I think in reality, I think I'm playing the II1 situation a little wrong versus him. You know, going for 1-2, at least the way he's playing it is safer than the high, because he's going to be fishing for the duck more, but he still hasn't shown a willingness to challenge cancel. And I think the real goal of the extensions is to discourage challenging the cancel. So I should have just canceled in his face still and just done something else. That would have been, I think, a preferred option.
When you get a hold of, you better not let go. Because when it's their turn, it might not get to be your turn again.
No break on and grab.
And it's still going.
Oh, God.
Oh, the dirty disrespect.
And then I duck while sitting 1+2, but it's too slow. So.
Run your heels into him. Oh, that's a statement. That's a statement right. That's a tournament point.
I'm saying that guy, that's a mental stack right there.
Definitely.
And Nazi is like, did you really just step on me?
Pretty bad. But.
Oh, man. He is not bullshit.
And that was the exact same thing as earlier, where I said I tried to duck the second hit and while standing punish, but he did some sort of different string where it led to that situation. So it's the same. Those last 2 rounds are kind of unfortunate. It's a lot of the same situations that worked for him earlier in the game. And then they, of course, unsurprisingly, because I was slow to adjust and slow to recognize, they worked for him later in the game as well. So yeah, it's really tough. He's an incredible player, had great pattern recognition and great recognition of my own problems and my own patterns. And he adapted by not doing the things that let me beat him, which is namely passive gameplay. He was playing pretty slow the first game. Maybe just figuring out, maybe just looking for what sort of patterns I had. I would have to ask him that, and I probably will. But then in the last few games, just certain specific situations was working very well for him. So he was then just looking to lean more heavy on those specific situations that worked well, and it worked. It was very good. It was very tough. I think a lot of it is I'll just have to retrain some of my muscle memory on some of those strings, sort of recognize what options track different directions and what I can do versus that, because he knew Nina's tracking situations a lot better than I did. So very impressive. Very good. I think in general, though, watching it back, I'm relatively happy with how it played as a whole on the tournament. I've been trying to create a better level of randomness to my game, play a little bit less predictable, a little bit less robotic, and I think that worked well. I think also the PS5 is a very heavy input lag console. It's quite frustrating to play on, but I think that worked in my favor more often than not during this, because a lot of the stuff I'm doing is a little bit like I'm pressing a lot of buttons. I'm putting pressure on them to respond to situations well, and recognize some of my like running 2 timings and beat them. And it's quite a bit tougher to do that offline, where the PS5 is filled with input lag and very frustrating to play on. So putting pressure on them in these situations, I think, worked well in my favor. But anyway, hope people found this useful. As always, just ping me if you have questions or something.